Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be talking about two teams I used in Legend Rank that I was able to go 4-1. The first one's kind of a meme-ish team. It does work, but there's definitely a lot of complexities with it. The first one was assisted by one of my most consistent Twitch viewers, and that's Sammy, and that's the team of Shadow Mawile with Fire Fang, Power Up Punch, and Iron Head. And then Azumarill. I think I have Ice Beam and Play Rough on it. And then Meganium with the standard moveset of Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Earthquake. So let's go ahead and get started with the video once I turn this light so you can see me a little bit better. And then I have a second team as well, which I think is a little bit more conventional. So let's go ahead and get started. Good lead. Mawile destroys Bastodon. They go into Metacham. I'm going to go straight into Azumarill here. And typically they go Psychic here, so I like to shield. This is an XL Metacham, so definitely struggles in the Azumarill definitely struggles in zero shield. I don't expect him to shield because I do expect this. I played against this line before against House Stark, and I'm pretty sure this is House Stark's double counter team, so I do expect a Toxicroak in the back. So I don't expect them to shield the Hydro Pump. So they didn't land the Psychic, and I definitely would have got KO'd beforehand, so that worked okay for me. So because I know there's Toxicroak basically beats all three Pokemon here. I'm basically looking to throw this Hydro Pump, and then I'm going to go right into Meganium because I don't want them to get an energy advantage. And they actually go into Toxicroak, so predicting the team comp was very helpful for me there. I'm going to go up here and then throw the Frenzy Plant. And the thing is here is that I don't want to shield this Meganium again. So I could have went up and shielded and potentially got to the Earthquake if I called the baits correctly, but I'd rather just go for the Frenzy Plant, get the guaranteed damage. They're going to throw the move here. If they throw the Mud Bomb, they probably would be able to counter me down. And then I'm going to go to Azumarill here and force it to throw, or else I would bubble down the Toxicroak. That's perfectly fine for me. And then I'm going to try to win this matchup up a shield with Meganium. So no, with Mawile. So Mawile just absolutely crushes Bastodon. These power punches obviously do a lot of damage. Resisting the smackdowns is really nice. And then as you can see, the damage is just ramping up like crazy right now. And then we're in a really good spot right now. And the Toxicroak is super low right now. So I'm going to look to Fire Fang down, and then basically Fire Fang down this Toxicroak as well, and that's going to be a GG. Toxicroak is definitely a pretty nightmarish Pokemon for this team to deal with, so usually you want to safe swap Azumarill, and we're going to see if how we're going to play out some of these matchups. So, okay, Mawile into Cherim. This is okay. Obviously the Fire Fangs are doing quite a bit of damage, and I'm not looking, well, I guess I throw the Power Punch here. I probably shouldn't have, because I'm gonna look to catch the next Weather Ball, Fire Weather Ball. So I'm gonna throw here, and then I'm gonna catch the Weather Ball onto Azumarill. It's not the best situation for me. I probably would have been able to survive it, but it would definitely put it really low. And they actually, oh man, I think they want to switch into. This game's so confusing right now. I'm pretty sure I actually have Ice Beam and Hydro Pump. I'm pretty sure they want to switch into Ferrothorn, but they accidentally switched into Azumarill, or they did that double switch thing. I don't know. It's probably a glitch when they tried to come out. So we're gonna see Ferrothorn hit me with this. Actually, would have been pretty close game. I still had Azumarill plus Mawile for the Ferrothorn, and then Meganium for Azumarill, which obviously is a very dominant matchup. And this is extremely confusing. And then, oh man, now it comes into this is really bad for this Ferrothorn here. These Fire Fangs are doing so much damage to it. Power Up Punch, and I actually don't think it's going to be able to make another move. It is not, and that's going to be GG. It's a very unfortunate glitch for them, but I think I had that match in the bag anyways, so. And we're going to go Mawile into Bastodon. So let's see how this is going to play out. And they actually come into Torterra. I could have went into Meganium here. That probably would have been okay for me. I'm going to Power Up Punch here. Ramp up my Fire Fang damage right away. These Razor Leafs are still chunking quite a bit. And I'm actually going to go straight into Meganium here. Rather than getting potentially farmed down. I'm going to shield this Flamethrower. I'm going to go up to... I'm pretty sure I'm just going to throw straight EQ here. And this should be no problem here. Azumarill is not going to see any of this match. And they actually end up shielding Bastiodon. And again, at this point in time, I'm just looking to chip away at this Bastiodon, so that's why I throw the Frenzy Plant here. And they actually end up shielding again. And I'm in a pretty good spot right now. They actually come into Victory Bell, and I'm just literally just going to EQ this thing. Do quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure why they didn't throw, but this matchup is pretty much over. So this team does pretty well against Grass Hole. Okay, so they go into Hypno, which is kind of a tricky play for me. So I'm going to look to... I resist the Confusions, but the Confusions still do quite a bit of damage. I'm going to look to build up, and then hoping to catch the Thunder Punch here. Yeah, Thunder Punch. It looks like they're going to build up, or they're going to stay for some reason. I'm not sure why. It could have been a Fire Punch. I would have been okay to take it on Meganium as opposed to... oh, here comes Scrafty here. This is maybe Double Dark. I forget what happened in this particular matchup. I'm going to throw the Frenzy Plant here. And I'm hoping to land another Frenzy Plant. This Frenzy Plant will do quite a bit of damage to Scrafty. And I'm really hoping to get to one more. I'm not able to. I'm going to go straight into Azumarill here. I'm looking pretty good right now. And I think I just throw the Ice Beam. I can't remember what I did here. Ice Beam does about 35%. These foul plays are definitely chipping away. And they come into Hypno here. I think I end up shielding. And I'm going to try to bubble down, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. I let this go. I should be able to live this Thunder Punch from a non-shadow. And then I think I throw the Hydro Pump here. And I believe it's a Vigoroth here, or a Munchlax. This is kind of a tricky situation for me. I'm going to immediately throw this Power Up Punch, start ramping up my Fire Fangs. That's why I didn't throw the Power Up Punch earlier. I think this is going to be a little bit too much for me, though. Yeah, these lick damage is a little bit... It's just a little bit too aggressive for me. So I probably should have thrown the Ice... Nah, I guess it didn't really matter. This team combo is just really difficult for me to deal with. And they come to Scrafty, and there's no way I make it to this Power Up Punch. And this is game over. Nice play by them. Maybe I should have went straight into Mawile versus the Hypno. Maybe that would have been a little bit better for me. Anyways, we're going to this next match. Mawile into Haunter. It's not a great situation for me. I am going to shield this first Shadow Punch. And then I'm going to look to catch the second Shadow Punch onto Azumarill. Yeah, because they're pretty much going to throw right away. And I'm going to let this go. They end up throwing the Shadow Punch into Azumarill. And then here comes Bastiodon, which is kind of a crazy switch in. They obviously don't know that I have Hydro Pump. It takes 7 Smackdowns to get to the Stone Edge. So they should be getting to it right now. Perfect. They're able to get the Smackdown and the Charge move through, which is very weird. And then I'm going to look to throw the Ice Beam here. Just to chip away at this Bastiodon. This is certainly not going to KO it. And then I'm going to look to bubble down. And I am able to. And they go into Medicham. I really should have switched into Meganium right away. This is a very tricky matchup for me. I'm not going to shield this first one in case it's a Power Up Punch. Even though the count says it's going to be an Ice Punch. And no counter went through there, which is fantastic for me. And let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to shield this. And I'm going to throw the Frenzy Plant here. And I'm very desperate to get to this next Frenzy Plant. And they definitely had the move there, but I guess they underestimated how much energy I had or how quickly the third one gets through. And I'm going to switch and Power Up Punch this Haunter, because why not? Why not? Interesting team. Haunter, Medicham, and Bastiodon. All right, we're going to go into this next match. This actually might be the second team I use. Yeah, it is. It's another Surge Fetch team. Surge Fetch, Shadow, Hypno, with Thunder Punch and Fire Punch, and then Drifblim with this pretty standard moveset. And I'm actually going to... I think I switch right after this. So I realize the counter damage is doing way too much. And I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball here, which does over half damage to the Stunfisk. So I just need to land the second one. I'm not going to shield this first one. And I'm going to see how much energy they're going to allow me to build up before I get to my next one. So they're 3, 4. So I get the Hex through. So I'm like, I decided at this point in time, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. And I believe I throw 2 more Hexes, then throw the Shadow Ball just to try to line up the fast moves. And there's a Shadow Ball. They end up not shielding. I wasn't sure if they're going to come back Machamp and throw the Rock Slide. They come into Pelipper, which is okay for me. And what I'm going to do here, instead of letting Pelipper farm me down, is I'm actually going to switch to Surfetched. And because they're quite low, I'm going to put pressure on them to throw their move. And at this point in time, Hypno can basically clean up both Pokemon. So I'm not going to shield this because the Rock Slide from Shadow Machamp will do more damage. I'm able to Confusion down. And then here comes Shadow Machamp. And I end up shielding the Rock Slide here. And then this Confusion damage just absolutely chunks in and takes out Machamp. So very nice win there. Okay, we're going to, it's Ninja X Greninja here. We're going to Surfetch into a Azumarill. So this is a pretty solid matchup for me. I'm looking to throw the Leaf Blade at 6 counters to line up with 4 bubbles. Don't let a bubble through. That's great for me. So at 6, they're enough for a Play Rough here. So I do shield. I believe they throw the Ice Beam at me, which makes sense. And 1, 2. Okay, they lagged a little bit there. So I throw the Night Slash here. I should have just went straight to Hypno, to be honest, but this at least will soften it up enough that a Thunder Punch will be able to KO this Skarmory. Let's see if they're going to shield. They are. I don't believe I shield this at all, and I believe they're going to throw 2 Sky Attacks at me. There's the 1 Sky Attack, and then here comes the second one. I'm going to let this go. I presume at this point in time that they have no energy. So I'm going to go Drift Blim, and I'm going to go throw 5 Hexes. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and then there's 5. And then this should be enough to KO Skarmory. If they shield, I will shield in front of them down. And then here comes Shiftry. It's a very weird Pokemon for me to deal with. So Ice Beam is going to deal super effective damage. I actually decide not to shield, and I switch out into Surfetch, and I throw the Leaf Blade here. I probably should throw the Night Slash for a potential boost, but that's quite alright. I do have to shield, and I'm in not the best spot right now. And then here comes the Azumarill, and I'm able to get this Leaf Blade off before they're able to get a charge move off, so I'm looking really good right here. And I'm going to look to counter down this Shiftry, and I'm in a really good spot, and that's going to be GG. So fun team to play with. Okay, this matchup I felt kind of bad for. I hate gatekeeping, but I also don't want to throw matches here. So they go into, I really need Surfetch for Scrafty, so this is not the best situation for me. So I end up switching out to Hypno. I probably could have shielded Scrafty, but I also didn't want to give up a shield here. And I believe they come back into Scrafty here. And I'm going to throw the Thunder Punch, which does not very much damage. Confusions are certainly adding up. They're going to be below half HP after this next Thunder Punch. And I'm not going to shield this at all. If they foul play me, they foul play me. That's not a big deal. And this is a very tricky ending right here. Okay, I switch out, and then we have Driftblim Mirror. I'm behind by like half a hex here. So at this point in time, I'm like, the only way I win this is if they bait. They end up baiting me. It does a lot of damage still. And I'm going straight. I'm just going to go straight Icy Wind because I'm behind on energy right now. And I know the Icy Wind will still do quite a bit of damage. So there, add another Icy Wind here. And I'm going to look to throw this Icy Wind at this opposing Driftblim, hoping to grab the shield. They really shouldn't shield the Icy Wind. The Night Slash from Surf Edge probably does about... Okay, they make a really nice play here. So what do I do here? They Icy Wind me, which is really bad for me. And they make a really nice catch here onto... I thought about undercharging, but really doesn't matter because it doesn't do that much damage. And I actually end up getting the attack boost, which actually, in fact, did not help me because I wasn't able to get as much farm, but it's still alright. And then I'm only one away from getting off this Night Slash, and that's going to be a GG here. Tough matchup for them, for sure. And we're going to Surf Edge into Stunfisk. This is a fantastic lead. And they go into Deoxys. And I go into Driftblim. A little bit slow switch because I wasn't sure which one it's going to be. If it was like a Mew switch in, then it would have been a little bit more problematic. I'm going to build up a little bit before... Well, actually, no, I just throw the Shadow Ball right away. That's quite alright. As long as I maintain alignment. They go into G-Fisk. One Rock Slide will KO, so they really nice job. Okay, no, I'm actually able to get the Shadow Ball off, which is actually kind of helpful for me because I don't have any ability to one-shot this Stunfisk. It's built up quite a bit of energy at this point in time. They go into Surf Edge. They go into Azu. I'm going to throw this Leaf Blade here. I'm basically looking to put shield pressure onto this Azu. And then I am getting shield pressure, and then I stay in for a little bit. I want to bank a move. And I tried to switch out, but I threw in the middle of the last bubble, which is not great for me. So now we're at 1 shield. I'm at slightly more health. We're both at 0 energy here. I decided to throw the Thunder Punch, mostly because I know that they can switch out pretty soon. So I'm looking for some guaranteed damage on this Azumarill. They end up shielding. So I'm going to let this go. I even know that they're eventually going to sack here, right? I know it. So that's why I do 1 confusion over. And then they are still able to pull off the sack. That's like, some of these battles are so absolutely really intense here. And I'm looking to get this damage here. I end up letting it go. I could farm a little bit versus this Stunfisk, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to be able to reach the Leaf Blade before them. I get a counter through. So I need, as long as they don't have, as long as they're not 2 away, I should be good. There's 2. And then I'm going to be able to throw in the middle of the 3rd one. So even if they had to move after that, they wouldn't be able to get it off. Plus I win CMP. And that's going to be GG. Okay, this last match was very tricky. So Galvantula basically does really well against this entire team. And I throw at 6 to cause a CMP tie. And as well to make sure that I get the full 6 counters in. And we experience a little bit of lag there, which is totally fine. I end up shielding. I know it's going to be a lunge, but really what option do I have? I have 2 Pokemon that are very weak to Galvantula. And I throw at the end of the animation again. And I end up letting it go. So I Yeah, this is not really a risk. Like, yeah, and then they come into Stunfisk, I believe. Yeah, Stunfisk. I'm gonna look to land this Fire Punch, and yeah, at first I thought it was gonna be FP6 line, but it ended up being a little bit different for me. I tried to predict when the earthquake was coming, and it didn't work. This next fire punch will put it really low. They end up shielding. I tried to catch the earthquake here, but it was to no avail, and they throw the rock slide. Very nice self control by them. And this next rock slide will KO. So this is looking not so hot for me right now. And I'm like, okay, this is I need to get an extra confusion through, but this is pretty much GG right here. I need to throw right here, but unless they have a Pidgey or something, or like a Toxicroak, there's really no way for me to win. And it ends up being a Politoed, and they win CMP because it only takes 4 mud shots to get to the Weather Ball. So GG, very well played by my opponents. So these are two teams that I really liked. I had a lot of fun playing. The Surfetch one, obviously, I won quite a bit of leads, but Drifblim and Hypno have really great counterplay against their opponents. So obviously, Dark types in the back would be challenging. Gavantula is really challenging, and the first team is kind of memeish, but definitely can work if you're a big Shadow Mawile fan. Then it's certainly a team worth trying. Anyways, I'm gonna leave there. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.